Welcome to this edition of FPD Roll Call. My name is Steve Michael, Public Information Officer for the Florissant Police Department. On today's show, my guest is Peggy Hogan, who is the Senior Citizen Coordinator for the City of Florissant. We're going to be talking about some safety topics for senior citizens, some basic safety tips, and then we're going to just talk with Peggy about some of the programs that the Senior Center has to offer the seniors of Florissant. And then we're going to move into some crime stats. With me today is Peggy Hogan, the Senior Citizen Coordinator for the City of Florissant. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So can you tell the audience about some of the programs that the City of Florissant has to offer the seniors?
Sure. We have a lot of programs to offer senior citizens in this community. We have one of our best programs, or best amenities is bus transportation. We have free bus transportation that will take Florissant residents with the resident card anywhere in the city limits of Florissant. So that's a great service that we offer here in the City of Florissant that most communities don't offer. We have clubs. We have bingo clubs, card clubs, a club called Silver Words that's for widow and widowers or single seniors. We have a line dance club. So depending on what you're interested in, they meet weekly, and it keeps people, coming back and gives them something to do every week. We have a lot of dances and parties. We have our dining center that's open every day, Monday through Friday, right down the street from Florissant City Hall. We have senior citizen trips. These are really popular. We offer like 12 of them a year. We use our Florissant buses, and we go within the whole St. Louis area doing, like the Fox Theater, the Sheldon, all different kinds of Kimswick, all different kinds of trips for senior citizens, and they love that. They're really popular.
That's free.
Now those cost. We sell tickets to those, and people come up, and almost everyone is totally sold out. Okay. So it's a popular event. We can offer them pretty cheap though compared to a lot of area places that offer them, because we have our own buses and they're much cheaper that way. So it's a great amenity. People love those.
Being that you have the own buses,
yes.
Maybe some of the listeners or the audience would like to know, does the bus go and pick people up at their residence?
What we do for our trips, what we do on our local transportation, like if you're going to Deerberg's or going to Target or whatever, the bus will pick you up at the curb and take you to the store or wherever you want to go, if you want to go get your hair done or whatever, and bring you back home, of course, at your curb. Okay, but now on our trips, we have a meet at the Egan Center parking lot. Okay. So you do have to drive to that, and then, and then we be on our way. So quite popular. Like I said, it gives them a lot to do in our community here in the St. Louis area. People like to get out. We've gone to the circus. We've gone a lot of different places that are, and really we take requests for this all the time, so it's a lot of fun. So it's a way to get out.
So some of the senior citizens can actually request, say, hey, why don't we take a trip to Branson, or why don't we take a trip here?
Well, we don't go out of the St. Louis area. Okay, so it's just right here in the St. Louis area, but a lot of time, in fact, many times, we have people request things, and we're like, hey, that's a great idea, and we'll research it and set that up for the next year. So, so it's great. Probably also one of our things that I feel like that one of the missions of our office really is to kind of be a resource for senior citizens in this community. So many times they'll need something and they don't know where to turn to. So I invite them to call our office. A lot of times I might not even have the answer, but I have a lot of people that I can call and find out an answer for them. So I like to keep between our being a resource, and I like to let people know what's going on in their community. And I think that's why you've asked me here today too, to kind of, because we want to kind of go over what's going on in our community, safety issues, I think, and concerns. So, which I think is great. I think our senior population would welcome that, to kind of go over what should we do and what shouldn't we do as far as safety here.
Right, and I'm going to touch on a little bit of that, and I'm glad you brought it up. And we are working together, as the police department and the senior citizen coordinator, we work for the same city. We have a lot of the same interest. You're taking care of the senior citizens, and we are in a different capacity helping them out. So we definitely want to partner with you guys and enjoy the partnership to spread the word as far as how, as you said, to be a resource. So if there's questions or concerns from any of the senior citizens in that community, they can bring them to you. You can contact me, or obviously I can be contacted at the police department.
We kind of work both ways. I've sent people over to you also, just helping each other out here. Like you said, we all work for the same, we have the same mission really, to help and to serve the people in the community.
So kind of going along the safety issues, I wanted to bring some things to the table as far as the senior citizens can consider when leaving the house, when going shopping, or getting off the bus from the Florissant transportation. The things that they need to look for, is we want to constantly encourage the senior citizens to always be alert of your surroundings and the people around you. And I want to avoid walking alone if you can. Everyone's got to walk and get to where they want to do, or whether it's exercise. But I think with some of the programs and some of the help with Peggy's department, people can meet new people and get out and walk with a buddy, or have a group of friends go walking or shopping. If you're out walking, walk close to the curb. We want you to avoid doorways, bushes, anywhere where someone could possibly hide and jump out and surprise any one of us, really.
Yeah.
But as far as make eye contact with people, let them know that you've seen them. Really be known, really be seen. Let people know that you are alert. One thing I really want to touch on is, if you're carrying a purse, we don't want to dangle it. We want to clutch it tight and just not make it make it free for the grabbing, so to speak.
Right. I think a lot of people, on that note, will have the purses that kind of go over their, and I think it's probably particularly hard with somebody on a cane or a walker. I understand. That's why I wonder if even the ones that go kind of strap across this way would certainly make it much harder to grab.
Right.
Correct. So.
Right. Just things to be, just another thought to think of is, like you said, wearing it across the shoulder, or maybe even consider wearing a fanny pack, or having just a small wallet with the cards and something, and put it in your pocket. We just don't want. We're just trying to get the word out there. We don't want anybody to be portrayed as a possible target. So anything that would, if someone's not carrying a purse, they're not going to be a target, most likely, as far as the topic we're talking on. We encourage the senior citizens, with pushing the cart. If you not to leave your purse in the cart unattended or open. That's something
that always amazes me. I still see that in the store.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my gosh, you can't. I mean, I still see people leaving their purse and going over and getting some peanut butter or something, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, it amazes me. But yeah, that is such an easy place, situation for anybody to pick up that purse.
Right. So, and I think another thing I want to touch on is, as far as don't carry excessive cash. A lot of places, all places still do, they carry checks. You can still use checks, or a debit card is all it takes. So, it's better than, because that debit card can be replaced.
Yeah, that's true.
And the cash, where I know a lot of senior citizens are looked upon to have a lot of cash. And
a lot of times you see them at the checkout pulling out cash, and it's like, oh my gosh, and people watch that. Bad guys watch that.
Right.
They see you pull out that wad of cash, and they know that's. And
it doesn't just have to be a rough and tough type stealing, so to speak. Criminals know that the senior citizens, they prey off of their kind heart, so they can deceive out of money.
It's just a lot of that.
Yes. So you really got to be alert. You really got to be alert of your surroundings. Know who's around you, and really think about things before you act. Like when I was just mentioning, someone might deceive you, try to trick you into giving them some money. Whether it's panhandling, there's some of that's we've seen at some of our local areas, our stores. If you pull out a wad of 20s, that person could snatch it out of your hand and run away and leave you with nothing, or your purse. So that's the things we really need to be alert on. Can you elaborate anything on that?
Well, I've had people approach me in a parking lot asking for money, and I'm always concerned about them getting too close. It's like you said, I don't give them any money, because to me, you don't know anybody in that parking lot, a panhandler particularly. They certainly are known to possibly be wanting more money, or grabbing, the money that you pull out, or watching you and, grabbing that. So, yeah, I've seen that myself, and I think, like you had mentioned before, it's important to give across an air of, because, they scope us out, right? And if you can try and act like, you're aware of what's going on, and I've had people tell me, and maybe you can tell me whether this is, but to hold your key, like kind of at a, like if anybody
as a weapon.
Yeah, as a weapon almost.
There's
just to kind of, because, and it kind of look like that too, because I think that, that it might be just enough to say, better not.
They're ready for something.
Better not touch that woman. It looks like she's ready to do something, But I think they look for people, vulnerable people, right? That are.
Yeah, and I want to touch on, if you are approached from someone in a parking lot, keep your distance. Definitely don't pull out a bunch of money. Just back away, ignore them. If they're persistent, call 911. Or if you're that uncomfortable, or you feel that threatened, yell.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. I mean, we're not far away, and it's illegal to panhandle in the city of Florissant. So when we are there, they will be arrested and ticketed. So that's easy advice I can give to anybody.
I think too, when they approached me, I called the manager of that store. I didn't go back in because I didn't want that person following me. But I called the manager of that store and told them, you got a panhandler out there on your parking lot. And I think that always makes people and customers feel uncomfortable. And I think they want to, they should, and usually both times that I've had this, they wanted to know that. I mean, and especially if you tell them, I feel uncomfortable shopping when that's going on in the parking lot. And then I'm sure they usually go out and either call the police or shoo them off or whatever, So I think that's important too, just to keep it from happening to someone else, to let them know what's going on, either your department or the manager of that store. I know my husband's a manager of a store, and he always wanted to know, because he didn't want them out there either.
Right.
And they kind of. They're persistent. They come back, he'll shoo them off and they come back, but it's good to, and I think the bad guys know that, maybe we better not, he keeps, you kind of get a reputation. I think that's a good thing. If you guys keep coming and shooing them off or giving them a ticket or whatever you do, then maybe the word will get out in the community. Don't go there, because,
Well, I want to, real quick, in closing, I kind of want to wrap up by saying, let the law enforcement, let us help you with some of these tips that we gave. And we want anybody watching to report any crime, whether it's attempted crime or whether it was crime that happened, any suspicious activity. Give detailed information, height, weight, clothing appearance, vehicle description, anything like that. Any information about witnesses as well. And then press charges if anything is, if there's a crime that's been committed against you, follow through with that. And this really also not only helps you in getting your case solved, but it also helps others. So how can people reach out to you? And maybe you can give them where your office is located?
Sure, my office is in Florissant City Hall, right across from the receptionist desk, so I'm right up on the first floor there. They could certainly give me a call at 314-839-7604. They could also check out our, our services and programs on the Florissant website, which is www.florissantmo.com, and you click on the Senior Citizen Department, and we have all of our activities and programs listed on there.
Great. Well,
So,
I know there's a
okay.
ton of resources for the senior citizens in
There are.
Florissant. So if anybody was to ever say there isn't, they're mistaken. They need to
They
check
are
it out.
mistaken.
So, well, we appreciate it, and thank you very much
thank you.
for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is my story.
I can be anything I want to be.
An actress.
A musician.
An athlete.
A cheerleader.
An artist. You can be anything you want to be, so why would you choose to drink and drive?
Welcome back to the show. I'm now going to go over the monthly crime stats for May. There were 2 robberies reported at the following locations for the month of May. On May 10th, the 300 block of US 67. On May 11th, the 1600 block of Mark Twain. Moving on to the burglaries, there were 13 reported for the month of May. May 1st, 2800 block of Notting Hill Row. May 3rd, 600 block of Graham Road. May 4th, 800 block of Thompson. Also on May 4th, another burglary on 800 block of Thompson. May 12th, the 100 block of DeSmet. May 15th, the 900 block of US 67. On May 15th, 600 block of Florissant. Again on May 15th, the 1000 block of Jefferson. May 18th, 500 block of US 67. May 22nd, the 1700 block of Dunn Road. May 23rd, 3500 block of Parker. May 24th, 700 block of Red Wing. And May 26th, 12,000 block of New Halls Ferry. Moving on to motor vehicle thefts, there were 11 motor vehicle thefts reported during the month of May. On May 1st, the 1700 block of St. Anthony. On May 2nd, 3500 block of Park Chateau. On May 6th, 100 block of Dauphin. May 8th, the 900 block of Harrison. May 10th, the 300 block of US 67. May 14th, 2500 block of Sorel. May 19th, the 3000 block of Santiago. May 21st, the 3100 block of Santiago. May 22nd, the 2200 block of Kevin. May 23rd, 100 block of St. Eugene. And on May 26th, the 100 block of Elm. There were 58 stealings during the month of May. There were 14 shopliftings, 5 bicycles, 1 purse snatching, 6 from motor vehicles, 6 from buildings, 7 motor vehicle parts, and 18 others. There were a total of 13 property damages during the month of May. Okay, we're now going to be moving on to the crime report for June. There was 1 robbery reported in the month of June at the following location. On June 18th in the 3100 block of US 67. Moving on to burglaries. During the month of June, there were 5 reported. On June 1st, 2800 block of Holiday. June 8th, 700 block of Red Wing. June 10th, 100 block of Mannion Park. June 13th, 8400 block of Lindbergh. And June 18th, the 1200 block of Flamingo. There were 10 motor vehicle thefts reported during the month of June. On June 10th, the 100 block of Mercury. June 10th, the 1000 block of Robinwood. June 11th, 500 block of St. Ferdinand. June 14th, the 1500 block of St. Malachy. June 16th, 100 block of Dunn. June 16th, 1500 block of South Waterford. June 18th, the 900 block of Paddock. June 20th, 2700 block of North Highway 67. June 23rd, 1400 block of Miller. And June 29th, the 900 block of North Highway 67. There were 66 stealings during the month of June. There were 24 shopliftings, 2 bicycles, 15 from a motor vehicle, 3 from buildings, 14 motor vehicle parts, and 18 others. There were a total of 17 property damages during the month of June. Moving on to the July crime report, there were 17 burglaries reported in the month of July at the following locations. July 1st at the 1700 block of Dunn Road. July 2nd, 600 block of Loyola. July 8th, Flower Valley Shopping Center. July 8th, 1100 block of Shackelford. July 8th, 400 block of Howder Shell. July 9th, 100 block of Valley. July 10th, 100 block of Malamphy. July 11th, 2000 block of Trotter Way. July 17th, 2700 block of US 67. July 17th, 900 block Garden Plaza. July 18th, 100 block of West St. Anthony. July 19th, 2400 block of US 67. July 20th, the 1300 block of Lindsay. July 22nd, 500 block of US 67. July 26th, the 1100 block of Pamela. July 28th, the 100 block of DeBorg. July 29th, 1300 block of Leisure. There were 10 motor vehicle thefts reported during the month of July. On July 5th, 800 block of Daniel Boone. July 5th, the 100 block of Dunn Road. July 6th, the 200 block of Francisca. July 6th, the 300 block of Francisca. July 9th, 800 block of La Crosse. July 10th, the 400 block of St. Francis. July 15th, 2800 block of Holiday. July 28th, the 2400 block of Malamphy. July 29th, the 100 block of Dunn Road. And July 29th, 1300 block of Leisure. There were 62 stealings during the month of July. There were 18 shopliftings, 11 from motor vehicles, 2 from buildings, 16 motor vehicle parts, and 15 others. There were a total of 23 property damages during the month of July. Over the summer months, we've seen nothing out of the ordinary with our crime statistics. Overall, it was a good summer. It was a good couple of months, and I really contribute that to the citizens of Florissant. I encourage the citizens of Florissant to contact the police department with any suspicious activity that they may see. We encourage participation with our neighborhood watch. We have a very large neighborhood watch group, and we're consistently growing. Anything out of the ordinary, anything suspicious, anytime that you may have that gut feeling that something is not right, it probably is not right. So that's when we encourage you guys to call. We see the calls, our call volume is up, but our total reported crime is down, and that's contributed directly from the citizens for calling. So for that, we thank you. Keep calling us, and if you have any questions whatsoever, you can contact me at the police department at 830-6042. This concludes this episode of FPD Roll Call. As always, I want to encourage you to call the police department if you see anything suspicious or anything you think that's out of the ordinary. Just call. Let the police handle it. Let us deem what we think might be against the law or is against the law. Just call us. We need your information. We need your ears and eyes out there so we can respond accordingly and promptly as well. Also, I want you guys to know that we're on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter. We're on Instagram. I post a lot of neat pictures out there, some neat happenings around the police department, around the city. Go onto our Instagram account. And now we're also on Nextdoor. We're using the Nextdoor app. So you guys can always send me a message through our social media platforms. It's not monitored 24/7, so no emergency stuff there because we don't always get it right away. So remember, you can always contact me at 314-830-6042 or my email smichael@florissantmo.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of FPD Roll Call.